My brother and I lost our parents when we were kids, so we knew poverty like the back of our hands. Growing up, our shared dream was simple. We were each going to find and marry a rich girl. It didn't exactly work out that way. He ended up with a girl who worked a stall at a street fair at night, and I fell for an edgy punk girl who did nothing but spend my money. We kept the truth from each other. Ryan told me his girlfriend was the richest heiress in New York. I told him mine was the CEO of a major corporation. He'd send me pictures of a mansion he claimed was hers. I'd send him shots of me posing by a supercar I claimed was mine. Then we ran into each other on a construction site. He was hauling bricks, and I was mixing concrete. We had just confessed everything when we saw them. My girlfriend and his walking toward us. The site foreman was practically bowing to them, calling my girlfriend Ms. Chun and my brother's girlfriend Ms. Fong, the developer. Ryan and I just stared at each other, our fists clenching at our sides. My brother Ryan and I were orphans, raised by the kindness of our small town, a couple of kids who knew the bitter taste of having nothing. The turning point came a year ago from our neighborhood. Another kid who'd started with less than zero rolled back into town for Thanksgiving in a brand new BMW. You could just tell from his clothes, his watch, the way he carried himself. He'd hit it big. Old Mrs. Gable from next door gave us the scoop. The kid got lucky, met some heiress while working a summer job, and married in her family. Overnight, he was a millionaire. Ryan and I looked at each other, and the same wild idea took root in both our minds. We were going to do the same thing. Marry rich. We were done with being poor. Let someone else have that life. We'd had more than our fill. From that day on, we hit the books harder than ever. The goal was to get into a top-tier university, because that's where the rich girls were. That's what everyone said, anyway. You don't find an heiress at some no-name community college. The day the acceptance letters came from NYU, we held them in our hands and just cried, hugging each other. We were one step closer to the dream. On our first day, standing in front of the arch in Washington Square Park, we shook hands like we were closing a business deal. Ryan, I said, congratulations. You're almost there. You too, Leo, he said, his eyes glinting. Go get him. With that, we walked on a campus, two brothers with a single-minded, gold-plated dream. In college, we kept each other on track. We studied, worked out, did everything we could to make ourselves shine. You have to be the bright, flashy lure if you want to catch the right kind of fish. Then one day, I noticed Ryan getting distant. He was always busy, skipping our usual lunches at the dining hall, sneaking off campus at night. I decided to follow him, and I found her. He was seeing a girl who worked a flea market booth, selling handmade jewelry or something. I finally cornered him outside his lecture hall one afternoon. He was holding 2 lunch trays. One of those for me? I asked, slinging an arm over his shoulder. He gave me a tight, awkward smile. A no. Then who? What have you been so busy with? I feel like I never see you anymore. My rapid-fire questions made him flustered. Look, I'm failing class, okay? I have to retake the final. This is for my TA. I gotta stay on her good side, you know? Male TA, female TA. I pressed. If it's a guy, fine. But if it's a girl, you need to be careful, man. Don't get tangled up in something you can't get out of. He clapped me on the shoulder. Relax, Leo. I'm not an idiot. I remember the plan. Heiress or nothing. He turned and bolted. Hey, I'm heading to lunch too. Wait up. I followed him into the dining hall and watched him pile one of the trays with salads and fruit and other stuff girls like. He even grabbed a fancy bottled iced tea. Something was definitely up. I trailed him from a distance, all the way to a stone gazebo on the edge of campus. Sure enough, a girl was sitting there. She was beautiful, with an athletic build, long legs, and a high ponytail, wearing a simple sundress. Ryan placed a tray in front of her like a servant, and they started laughing and eating together. No way. I couldn't let my brother fall into this trap without doing some recon first. Without a second thought, I strode right up to them. Ryan nearly jumped out of his skin when he saw me. I looked the girl up and down. So this is your TA? The girl looked at Ryan, completely confused. He cleared his throat nervously. This is my brother, Leo. He's in the same department, different major. The girl smiled at me, a flash of perfect white teeth, and gave a little nod. I ignored her and looked straight at my brother. Fess up. You're dating her, aren't you? No way, Ryan denied. If I were dating someone, you'd be the first to know. I smirked. She's right behind you. He flinched, then saw the girl glaring at him. Just as he opened his mouth to explain, She stood up and ran off. Nice work, Leo, he snapped. What the hell was that about? I'm looking out for you. I shot back. Don't forget the agreement. Just as I turned, I saw a girl with ripped jeans and bright pink hair waving and running toward me. Well, Ryan said, raising an eyebrow. Speak of the devil. Looks like your love life is on a roll. I took off before she could reach us. She chased me down, finally catching me around a corner and grabbing my ears with both hands, panting, "Why do you always run when you see me?" I didn't want to run, I explained. My brother was there. So what if your brother was there? Is he not allowed to know you have a girlfriend? She demanded. Which department is he in? We should all go out this weekend, maybe hit up Coney Island. No, we can't, Elite. He thinks I should focus on my studies. Let's just keep this between us for now. Chloe, ever agreeable, just nodded. Okay, I want a strawberry milkshake. Buy me one. Now. I checked my watch. Babe, we have class soon. Maybe later, huh? I finally managed to get her to her lecture hall. That night, I followed Ryan again. I still couldn't shake the feeling that he was making a huge mistake. The girl was pretty sure, but our plan was rich and beautiful, not beautiful or broke. I couldn't just stand by and watch my brother jump into a dumpster fire. He left campus and headed straight for the Union Square holiday market. What was he doing there? Bargain hunting? Jess, I'm here. Ryan walked up to a girl busy arranging little crafts on a table. She gave him a sweet smile before turning back to a customer. I recognized her back. It was the so-called TA. She was so broke she had to work a night market. No. I had to stop this romantic tragedy before it went any further. Just as I was about to call out to him, I saw the girl, Jessica, finish with her customer and hand Ryan her half-finished bottle of iced tea. He took a long, happy swig, then handed it back. She took a sip from the same straw without even wiping it. You don't need a detective to figure that one out. They were deep in it. I stepped out of the shadows. Are you dating the street vendor? I demanded. Ryan froze, his face a mask of discomfort. You followed me? I asked you a question. Are you dating her? I looked her over. She'd swapped the sundress for black cargo pants and a work jacket. The innocent student vibe was gone, replaced by the hard edge of someone just trying to make rent. I could see why my brother was hooked, but it didn't change the facts. Yes, he finally said, pulling me aside. His voice was soft. Leo, I don't think I can keep that promise. That was just kid stuff. We can't take it seriously. What? How can you just give up? I was stunned. We've worked our asses off for years, all for this one goal. We were finally going to make it. You can't throw it all away now. I just want what's best for you, man. I was practically pleading with him, trying to snap him out of it. It's true what they say. Love makes you an idiot. I had to be the one to steer him straight. Who said the dream is dead, he argued. Our goal was to have a good life, right? Well, look at us. We're at NYU. How many kids would kill to be here? We can make our own dreams come true. We don't need to marry into money. A fortune you don't earn yourself is just smoke. He wasn't entirely wrong. Building your own life is more solid than living in someone else's. But still, seeing my silence, Ryan pulled Jessica in front of me. Say hi to your sister-in-law. Before I could even react, Chloe popped up out of nowhere, linking her arm through mine. Hey, isn't this your brother? She asked. Ryan took one look at Chloe's ripped band t-shirt and combat boots and barely managed to stifle a laugh. I'm Chloe Chun, she said, confidently extending a hand to Ryan. What are you doing? I hissed, pulling her away. I haven't told him about you yet. So, tell him now. My face was burning. I just finished lecturing my brother, and now my own unsuitable girlfriend shows up. It was humiliating. Oh, I get it, Chloe said, her eyes narrowing as if she could read my mind. You think I'm not good enough for you, is that it? Her eyes started to well up with tears, and people walking by started to stare like I was some kind of monster. Okay, fine, don't cry. I'll tell him right now. All right, really? The tears vanished, replaced by a childlike grin. Seriously, what was wrong with me? Why did I have to fall for a girl like this? Chloe had told me her story. Her parents had been wealthy, but a nasty divorce wiped them out. They both remarried, and neither wanted her, so she ended up living with her grandmother in some forgotten town upstate. They'd struggled. Maybe it was our similar pasts, that shared experience of hardship, that turned my pity for her into affection. I'd even promised to give her a happy life. What are you spacing out for? Chloe nudged me. I realized Ryan was standing right in front of us. Bro, Chloe said, instantly familiar, and grabbed Ryan's arm. Ryan glanced at Jessica, then gently pulled his arm away. Don't want Jess to get the wrong idea. Such a romantic, I scoffed. You're really willing to struggle with her for the rest of your life? Who said anything about the rest of our lives? Ryan said, puffing out his chest. This is just for now. As we were talking, Chloe tapped my shoulder. Babe, can I have $10? I want to get a boba tea. Unbelievable. I just finished giving my brother hell, and now my girlfriend is hitting me up for $10. Couldn't she at least ask for a 20? Hurry up. I'm dying of thirst, she whined, acting as if she might collapse from dehydration at any second. I pulled a 10 out of my wallet and handed it to her. She took it, playfully smacked my arm with a bill, and grinned. You're not going to ask for the $5 I borrowed for tampons yesterday back too, are you? I practically shoved her away. Just go get your tea before they close. The second she was gone, Ryan punched me in the shoulder. What the hell kind of girlfriend is that? So you couldn't find an heiress, fine. But you end up with some broke punk girl who doesn't even have $10 to her name, and you have the nerve to lecture me. He glanced over at Jessica, who was diligently working her stall. At least Jessica works for her own money. What does your girl do? He laid into me, and I had nothing to say back. He was right. The plan was to marry rich. Instead, I found a girl who was the polar opposite, and I was completely crazy about her. Fate, I guess. I was doomed to be poor forever. On the walk back to the dorms, Chloe was like a little kid, sipping her boba and chattering away, completely oblivious to the cloud of gloom hanging over me. Hey, what's wrong? She asked, offering me a sip. Her eyes were so clear, so innocent, untouched by the materialism that consumed me. What does a person end up like that? Like a flower grown in a greenhouse, totally unaware of how harsh the world is. I didn't answer, just walked back to my room. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing the look in Ryan's eyes. It was a complicated mix of frustration, disappointment, and something else I couldn't place. My phone buzzed. A text from Ryan. Get ready for a surprise, little brother. Hope you're sitting down. Yeah, right? A surprise, not a heart attack. Jessica isn't really a street vendor. She's the richest heiress in New York. What? I literally couldn't process it. An heiress? My brother actually did it. I was about to jump out of bed when I overheard my roommate talking. You guys hear about that girl, Jessica Foam? I heard she sets up a stall in the market every night. Yeah, another guy chimed in. I heard she's drowning in debt. Some loan sharks even cornered her outside the main gate last week. It looked pretty scary. So, my brother hadn't landed a rich girl. He'd landed a girl with rich parents' debt. A debt heiress. I texted him back. Don't let her fool you. I heard she owes money all over town. You should dump her now before she drags you down with her. It took him a long time to reply. Not talking to you anymore. You wouldn't believe me anyway. I couldn't sleep after that. I was just scrolling aimlessly through my phone when I saw Chloe's new Instagram post. The caption read, Small world. My bestie's boyfriend is my boyfriend's brother. The picture was a selfie of her and Jessica Foam, arms around each other, looking inseparable. Well, damn. They were best friends. Talk about keeping a secret. I immediately called Chloe. Why didn't you tell me you and Jessica were best friends? My tone was hostile, and she got defensive right away. You never asked. Fair enough. How could I ask about something I didn't even know existed? Come downstairs. Now, I texted, pulling on a hoodie and heading out. The second she saw me, she was on the offensive. Why are you so obsessed with Jessica? Because she's dating my brother, I said automatically. It wasn't about Jessica, it was about Ryan. If he got his heart broken by some con artist, with how sensitive he is, who knows what he might do? I'd be truly alone then. I have another question, and I need you to tell me the truth, I said, looking her straight in the eye. My brother says Jessica is the richest heiress in New York. Is that true? Chloe burst out laughing. If she's the richest heiress in New York, then I'm the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Then why would Ryan say that? I muttered, frowning. She punched my arm playfully. He's just trying to save face, you idiot. He doesn't want you to worry about him. I thought about it. That made sense. But still, it was a pretty wild lie. Next time your brother says Jessica is an heiress, Chloe said with a yawn, you just tell him I'm a CEO. Okay, I'm heading back. I have an 8 a.m. class. Watching her walk away, I laughed at myself. Like I could ever get that lucky. I'd be thrilled if Chloe could just learn to support herself like Jessica did. Just when I thought Ryan was lying to save face, he sent me another picture. It was taken inside a breathtakingly modern mansion, the kind of place I'd only ever seen in magazines. See? I wasn't lying. Jessica really is an heiress. This is her house. He sent another text, afraid I wouldn't believe him. At that moment, I was walking with Chloe across the main quad. I showed her the picture. She covered her mouth to hide a smile. Your brother is hilarious. Okay, you have to play along. Tell him you landed a CEO. I hesitated, but she snatched my phone and started typing in my name. Hey bro, looks like we can both kick back and relax from now on. My girlfriend is actually a CEO. She hit send without a moment's hesitation. I stared at her. You think he's gonna buy that? Making him buy it is the easy part, she said, grabbing my hand and pulling me off campus. We walked straight into a luxury car dealership. She pointed at the gleaming cars. Pick one, whichever one you like. She said it so casually, like she could actually afford any of them. I decided to call her bluff. I pointed to a sleek black Rolls Royce. I like that one. Done, she said. She dragged me over to the car, told the salesman to take our picture, and then, without asking, took my phone and sent the photo to Ryan. The caption read, Bro, my girlfriend owns this dealership. This is my new ride. I saw the message and my stomach dropped. This was way too much. I tried to unsend it, but it was too late. Ryan had already seen it. My phone rang instantly. Leo, don't let her fool you, he said, his voice urgent. That girl doesn't even have $5 to her name. How could she be a CEO? He had a point. The lie was way too obvious. Chloe grabbed the phone out of my hand. Listen up, brother-in-law, she yelled into the phone. As long as you're brave enough to claim your girlfriend is an heiress, I'm brave enough to claim I'm a CEO. That pretty much gave the game away. She was just trying to one-up him. Ryan hung up, then sent another text. I'm serious. I'm at her mansion with Jessica right now. I showed Chloe the message. She just shook her head. Your brother has completely lost it. But what if he's telling the truth? I asked. She nodded slowly. I guess it's possible. I was getting dizzy. What do you mean, possible? You're her best friend. You don't know her family situation? I do know, she said. And I told you it's fake. She seemed to wrestle with something for a moment before sighing. Okay, look, since you won't let it go, I'll tell you the truth. Jessica's mom is the housekeeper at that mansion. Probably just borrowed her mom's keys to get inside. How can you be so dense? A housekeeper? It clicked into place. Jessica wasn't just broke. She was a liar. She was playing my brother for a fool. The revelation shocked me. My brother was being scammed. I called him immediately. Get out of there now. The real owners are going to come home and have you arrested for trespassing. This time, he didn't reply. He must have been trying to figure out how to escape. When I tried calling him again, his phone went straight to voicemail. Did he actually get caught? Was he arrested? I started to panic. Chloe was struggling with a problem set. Can you help me with this? I can't figure it out. I had my own problem to solve. My brother. I looked at my watch. 8 p.m. Prime time at the night market. Chloe, I gotta go. Something came up. I sprinted out of the library before she could say anything. I had to go save my brother. While I was waiting for a cab, a luxury sedan screeched to a halt in front of me. The window rolled down. It was Chloe. Get in, she said. I stared at her, bewildered. This car is. I borrowed it from Chad. Come on, I'll take you. I knew Chloe was friends with Chad, my ridiculously rich roommate. It made sense. I jumped in without another thought. She drove like a pro, weaving through traffic, and we got to the market in no time. But Jessica's stall was empty. She and Ryan were gone. It was over. My legs gave out, and I sank to the curb. They arrested him. I know it. Don't panic, Chloe said, trying to comfort me. I'll call Jessica. My eyes were glued to her phone, hoping for a miracle. But Jessica's phone was off, too. Chloe threw her hands up. Well, looks like they're both in jail. It was after 9 p.m. There was nothing we could do until morning. Back at the dorm, I saw Chad brushing his teeth. Hey, man. Thanks, I said gratefully. He turned, a confused look on his face. Thanks for what? The car, I said, clapping him on the shoulder. Don't tell me you forgot already. What car? What are you talking about? He looked genuinely clueless. You didn't lend Chloe your car tonight? Now I was confused. Chad was notoriously forgetful, but forgetting he'd lent out his car seemed like a stretch. Just then his phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and his expression changed. Oh, the car, right? No problem, man, I've got plenty. Anytime you need one, just let me know. Geez, this guy was going to have serious memory problems when he got older. You should probably get that checked out, man, I told him. He just nodded. Yeah, good idea. As I was about to fall asleep, my phone lit up with a picture from Chloe. It was Ryan and Jessica at an airport, an international airport. Did my brother commit a federal crime? I muttered. They extradited him. Now I was really screwed. I couldn't bail him out of a local precinct, let alone from another country. Could you please be normal for 5 seconds? Chloe's text followed. They're on vacation. I called her immediately. How do you know that? Are you serious? It's on Jessica's Instagram story. She posted it herself. Oh, relief washed over me. At least he wasn't in jail. Still, going on an international trip in the middle of the semester? That seemed a little irresponsible. A trip like that must cost a fortune, I worried aloud. If what Chloe said was true, Ryan was definitely paying for it. He's not paying, Chloe said. Look at her latest post. I screenshotted it for you. I opened the image. It was a picture of a pile of shopping bags from designer stores. The caption read, "Credit cards maxed out. So worth it." What kind of person was this? She had no sense of financial responsibility. How was my brother going to put up with this? Just as I hung up, Ryan called. You scared the hell out of me. I yelled, "What's with the disappearing act?" Hey, it wasn't my idea, he said. Jess told me she'd already booked the tickets and paid for the tour package. It was non-refundable. I told you, her mom's a housekeeper. Where did she get the money for a trip like this? My brother was so naive. He just couldn't see what was right in front of him. Before he could say anything else, I hung up. Let him suffer the consequences. He could deal with it himself when the bill came due. As I was trying to get back to sleep, Chloe called again. Babe, let's go on a trip too. I nearly shot out of bed. Are you kidding me? I can't afford that. Ryan's mess was already giving me a headache. I couldn't take on another one. You don't love me, she pouted. Your brother took Jessica on a trip. I want to go too. I don't have the money. I was getting angry now. Besides, it's not even spring break yet. We'd have to miss classes. I already called us in sick. She hung up before I could protest. What the hell? I hadn't agreed to anything. Chad was laughing from across the room. Dude, just go. You've got an amazing girlfriend. What are you waiting for? You know I'm broke. Where am I supposed to get the money for an international flight? I pulled the covers over my head, ready to end the conversation. Suddenly, my phone vibrated with a notification. Venmo. Chad sent you $20,000. I sat bolt upright. This wasn't a dream. I checked my phone again. The payment was real. I was about to call Chloe, but Chad spoke up. It was me. Just take her on the trip. Chad, why would you do that? I started to transfer the money back. He stopped me. Look, man, Chloe's been your girlfriend for a year. Have you ever bought her a single nice thing? He was right. I shook my head. Exactly. This is the one thing she's asked for. And come on, a little part of her just wants to keep up with her friend. What's the big deal? What he said made sense, but $20,000. That wasn't pocket change to me. It was a fortune. Don't worry about the money, he said. Pay me back when you can. If you can't, no big deal. You could just come work for my dad's company after you graduate to pay it off. His words hit me hard. I really hadn't done much for Chloe. Okay, I said. Thanks, man. I owe you one. The next day, Chloe and I were on a plane. The whole way, she was taking selfies and posting to Instagram, looking happier than I'd ever seen her. She rested her head on my shoulder. Don't worry, she whispered. When we get back, I'll help you pay it all back. Hearing her say that, I couldn't stay stressed. I just tried to enjoy it, even though the thought of that debt still gnawed at me. When we landed, I turned on my phone and saw over 20 missed calls from Ryan. Was he worried about me? I called him back. The moment he picked up, he started shouting. Leo, have you lost your mind? Is your pride more important than your future? What are you talking about? If your girlfriend can go on vacation, why can't mine? Chloe gave me a thumbs up from beside me. You can't compare yourself to me. Your sister-in-law is an heiress. For us, this is nothing. There he went again with the fantasy. Chloe was making gestures at me, and I knew what she wanted me to say. Yeah? Well, if she's an heiress, then Chloe's a CEO. Chloe clapped her hands, grinning. She's going to ruin you. He seethed and hung up. Perfect, Chloe said, patting my back. That's how you handle him. So that's what we did. We basically stalked them across Europe. Wherever they went, we followed. He bought his girlfriend designer bags. I bought mine cheap souvenirs. The day we flew back, we ran into them at the airport. Jessica and Chloe hugged like long-lost sisters. Ryan and I started arguing immediately. You don't have the money, so don't pretend you do, he raged. When we get back, you'll be right back to working some dead-end job to pay this off. And you won't. I shot back. You still think Jessica is rich? I've told you over and over. She's playing you, but you refuse to listen. What did she possibly get from me? The house is there. Her mom is there. It's all real. He was still living in a dream. It was hopeless. I dragged him in front of Jessica. Jessica, tell him right now. Are you an heiress or not? Her face paled. She looked at Ryan. If he believes I am, then I am. If he doesn't, I'm not. You hear that? I yelled, hoping the words would finally sink in. It's up to you, not her. Ryan wasn't about to be outdone. He grabbed Chloe. Are you a CEO? Why are you trying to ruin my brother? Chloe looked at me. Her expression panicked. If he believes I am, I am. If he doesn't, I'm not. Ryan laughed bitterly. And you're telling me I'm the one being fooled? It was clear that without concrete proof, my brother would never see the truth. I asked Chloe for help. I just needed to prove to him, once and for all, that he was walking into a trap. Chloe said there was only one way. Go back to the mansion and have the real owner confirm that Jessica's mom was the housekeeper. So we did it. Chloe and I drove Chad's car to the mansion. And sure enough, the person who answered the door was Jessica's mom, wearing a maid's uniform. I took out my phone, snapped a picture, and recorded a short video of Chloe talking to her. Then I sent it all to Ryan. His reply was 3 words. I get it. Finally, I had gone through so much trouble for him. I'd done all I could do. That night, as I was lying in bed, Ryan sent me a video. It was from the car dealership we had visited. Bro, Jessica and I came here to find out the truth. The salesman confirmed that your little punk girlfriend is definitely not a CEO. Huh, of course I knew she wasn't. Did he really need to go all the way there to prove it? What a waste of time. Before we knew it, summer break had arrived. Jessica said she was going back to work the night market. She could make a few $100 a night. Chloe said she had no intention of working in the heat. She was going back upstate to visit her grandma. Before she left, she borrowed $1,000 from me. She could leave, but I couldn't. I had to earn back the money for our trip. No matter how casual Chad was about it, a debt was a debt. I told Ryan I was going to take a job mixing concrete on a construction site. I asked him what his plans were. He said he was going to haul bricks at the same site. He had to help Jessica pay off her credit cards. Served him right, I thought. Now I was in debt, right along with him. So, the two of us started working on the site. Under the scorching sun, we worked until we were drenched in sweat, but neither of us complained. During our lunch break, he looked at me, sweat dripping from his chin onto his sandwich, and managed a weak smile. I'm done fighting it, Leo. It is what it is. My own sandwich was covered in a fine layer of dust. I took a bite and smiled back. The only rich girls are in our dreams. In reality, it's all just bricks and concrete. We both burst out laughing. A hard life wasn't always an unhappy one. As we were enjoying the moment, we saw the project manager walking toward us with a group of people in suits. He told us yesterday that the developers were coming for a site inspection and to look busy. The manager was speaking deferentially to a woman in a powder blue pantsuit. Ms. Phone, he said, his voice full of respect. Then he turned to a woman in a sharp black suit. Ms. Chun, he said with another nod. Both women were wearing hard hats and face masks. Ryan and I looked at each other and quickly got back to work. As they passed by, I got a better look at them. Their builds. They seemed so familiar. After they had walked past, my eyes met Ryan's across the dusty ground. Was that Ms. Phone, Jessica, and Ms. Chun? Was that Chloe? We said it at the same time. We had to know. We took off our dirty work clothes, a stark contrast to their pristine suits, and cut them off. We stood in front of them, our fists clenched. They both froze when they saw us. Someone want to explain what the hell is going on? We demanded in unison. Jessica pulled my brother aside, and Chloe pulled me away. Let me explain, Chloe said. Suddenly, she wasn't my edgy, broke girlfriend anymore. She was a poised, articulate executive. The transformation was so jarring, it almost blinded me. I looked at the woman in front of me and said coldly, "We're done. We don't belong in the same world." I turned and walked away. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Ryan do the same. I reached out, grabbed his arm, and the two of us disappeared from their sight. We ended up in a dingy little dive bar with a bowl of stale pretzels and a bottle of cheap whiskey between us. "Ryan, why'd you walk away from Jessica?" I asked. "Isn't this what you always wanted?" He took a shot of whiskey and chased it with a handful of pretzels. "Leo, why'd you walk away from Chloe?" Isn't this what you always wanted? We looked at each other and started laughing again, a hollow, bitter sound. It turned out the dream we'd been chasing our whole lives wasn't so perfect after all. It was built on lies and games. They had played us for fools. Was it fun for them? Watching us work ourselves to the bone, trying to give them a good life, while they sat back and laughed at our struggle. We drank until we couldn't see straight. When I woke up, I was lying in a plush bed in Jessica's mansion. The woman we thought was the housekeeper was there, but now she was just the housekeeper. Ryan, I mumbled, my head pounding. You should stay. I'll go. Looking around at the sheer opulence, I felt a pang of regret for him. It would take him 100 lifetimes to afford a place like this. No, I'm coming with you, he said, his voice firm. I want a future with more than just money. I want happiness. Jessica stood in front of him, her face full of remorse. Is there no chance at all? She whispered, looking like a little kid who'd been caught stealing. Ryan's expression was like stone. He grabbed my arm and pulled me toward the door. Tears streamed down Jessica's face. I really do love you, she cried. And I never lied. You were the one who never believed me. I froze. Ryan froze, too. She was right. She had told him she was an heiress from the start. It was me who kept trying to prove she was a liar. And in the end, that's what she became in our minds. A liar. I stumbled out of the mansion and saw Chloe waiting for me. Behind her were 8 black luxury cars, lined up in 2 perfect rows. 8 men in sharp black suits stood beside them. When they saw me, they all bowed in unison. Good morning, sir. I stared at Chloe, my voice dripping with ice. Who are they, actors? Are the cars rentals? Tears streamed down her face. I'm so sorry, Leo. I deceived you. I didn't have another word to say. It was never about the ending. It was about the journey. And when that journey is tainted with lies, even the most beautiful destination feels spoiled. The next morning, I woke up to find Ryan had already made breakfast. Check your phone, he said. I opened it up. Our faces were everywhere. Every news outlet, every gossip blog. Rags to riches brothers hit the jackpot. Local boys win the heiress lottery, from construction site to penthouse suite overnight. The comments were all the same. Thousands of people saying how lucky we were. I had to laugh. Were we really lucky? Or had we just been working our asses off when luck happened to find us? If we'd never met them, would our lives have been unlucky? Let's eat, Ryan said, setting the table. Just then, there was a knock at the door of our tiny apartment. When we opened it, we were met with 2 enormous bouquets of red roses, so vibrant they almost hurt to look at. Behind them stood Jessica and Chloe. Marry us, they said in unison, their eyes shining with an honesty that was impossible to doubt. I knew, in that moment, that my brother and I were completely, hopelessly, and utterly sunk. End.